Hello and welcome to this special edition of Agenda coming from Bengaluru. Now we are in the beautiful Cubbon Park, a reminder of the days when this city was the garden city of India. Things have changed and anyone living here or even visiting here knows that it's now just a concrete jungle. Of special concern, a recent study by scientists which shows that Bengaluru will only have about 5% of open space by the year 2020. And also a recent amendment in the Karnataka Urban Development Act that says future layouts may have even less open space, less parks, less area for civic amenities. Joining us to discuss the situation now and the way ahead, we're very happy to have the Upalokayukta, Justice Subhash B. Adi, a woman, one of the most influential women in the world, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, also a very concerned citizen. We have Urban Development Secretary, Mr. Mahendra Jain. We have scientists from the Indian Institute of Science who have done this study, Professor T.V. Ramchandra, along with his eager students, and concerned citizens from active citizens groups. We have Sridhar from Namma Bengaluru and Nithya and Zibi from Whitefield Rising. Now, first of all, are we exaggerating things? Is it just a kind of urban legend that Bengaluru is losing its green cover, that things are going concrete, or is it actually a scientific fact? Professor Ramchandra, you have done a study along with your students. What does it show?
Well, when you look at the Bangalore, the kind of growth that has happened, not only Bangalore, any urban area in the country, I would say it is an unplanned, senseless urbanization. People sitting in AC room without understanding common man requirement, they have done the planning which is not helping the people. Now when you look at Bangalore, the city which was a green city when I was a kid, today has become a brown city. And if this trend is continued, the city will have only 5% open spaces. From 1973 to 2016, there has been 1005% increase in concrete area. We have lost 88% vegetation and 79% of water bodies. Where are our decision makers? Why are they not taking appropriate decision? All our norm says that we need to have a 33% green cover, 15% open space. Why are they diluting this?
It's just not happening. I mean, green turning to red, but it doesn't seem to be stopping what is going on. Kiran, as a concerned citizen who's been here, and also as heading your own group, BPAC, which is actually working for these issues, I mean, the figures are so scary, the figures are so frightening.
Yes, I think, these are elected representatives of the citizens. Where is the people's agenda? This is all a political agenda that we are all having to battle. We need to bring this, back to people. And as Professor Ramchandra said very correctly, this is about fighting for our lung space. This is about fighting for our green spaces. We are here in Cubbon Park, which is what Bangalore is all about, which is what Bangalore was all about, the garden city. Are we willing to see it being destroyed? I think that's why we are all fighting for maintaining these open spaces, these lung spaces, and it is about any urban space. I don't think we want to see any urban space go the Bangalore way.
Yes, exactly.
I have grown up in this city where all the statistics that were referred to earlier was what we maintained. We made sure that we had green spaces, open spaces, water bodies were being preserved. Today there's lake encroachment in a big way, And I think this is a question we need to pose to the policy makers, the politicians, and the nexus that they have with builders. Because I think builders also have to be responsible.
We have a representative from Builders Group here, also Mr. Mohan Kumar of the Ozone Group, who will be talking on that half as well. Justice Adi, the laws are there. We have laws where you cannot encroach on lake beds, where you cannot build up in certain areas. Are these laws being implemented, or is it just one more example?
There is the biggest problem is implementation and execution of those laws. Now, even for parks, open space, open fields, lakes, there is a prohibition. Construction, encroachment, even a bit of a land is encroached, they have a power to prosecute, they have power to take back the land, everything. But how much interest the executive is having, how much the politicians having interest in these things? Every day we are seeing that a lot of encroachments are there. There are layouts which are formed with civic amenities parks. Later on it is found not a single civic amenity, not a single park available there.
Only on paper?
Not only on paper, and actually everything is built. Now it is to be very difficult even to remove the building and make a park.
I just wanted to add to this. I think politicians must remember that they are citizens first. Okay, I think that will solve a lot of these issues, because they have to be stakeholders in the future of their cities, their urban spaces. Only then will we see some sensible planning. But I think politicians behave that they are in a different world.
Maybe in some ways they are, sitting in their AC buildings and their AC cars. Now, you're in a tough position here as Urban Development Secretary, Mr. Jain. We've heard the concerns, we've seen the studies. There is obviously a lot of fear, and also the recent amendment, which may not affect Bengaluru, but in terms of reducing in future layouts the amount of urban space. What is happening? Is the government concerned about?
Of course, the government is concerned, and the government is seized of the matter. A lot of initiatives have been taken. You would agree with me that in the recent years, I mean, the surveys on encroachments in the lake beds, in the parks and open spaces, detailed surveys have been undertaken. Wherever there have been encroachments, sincere efforts have been made to remove those encroachments. I can't agree more with my fellow speakers who have said that how important it is to keep our lung spaces, our green areas. And this year itself, I mean, in Bangalore alone, we are planting some more than 150,000 trees in different parts. Roadside plantations, in the parks, in the open spaces, wherever the spaces are available, we are planning to green. And in the revised master plan also, we are planning to keep large lung spaces rather than having small parks here and there.
Bigger areas which
Bigger
connect.
areas. We'll continue to have the smaller spaces. So even the requirement for the green areas, we are seeing whether we can bifurcate into some large green spaces and smaller parks in the locality.
Do you think that would work, or would you prefer locality parks to rather big clumped areas?
You know, where we live right now in Whitefield, to get to the nearest park will take 2 hours and 10 minutes. For me, that's how long it took to come from Whitefield to Kabam Park, okay?
Which is your nearest park, so for you it may not work.
Park.
Yes,
So it may not really work for us. But having said that, you know, citizens out there are planting trees every day.
Yes.
Just because we realize the importance of this kind of lung space. Anyone, even a 5th grader, will tell you that if you're trying to reduce from 15% to 10%, already we're all in trouble. Do we want to add to our troubles like this? No matter that this is not yet in Bangalore, but even outside Bangalore, it affects all of us. It's only a matter of days before that idea moves into Bangalore.
Now, Mr. Jain mentioned that encroachments were being dealt with. Are you happy with the way things are being done? You've worked a lot for lakes in Whitefield City.
The encroachments are being dealt with. I think from the top it is happening, but I don't think on the ground we haven't seen much evidence of the encroachments being removed. I think if it's removed one day, I think the next day there's somebody else comes in. So I think there has to be a concerted effort and follow-up to ensure that what is the reality, the ground reality is gets better for all of us. And as Nitya said, that I mean the discussion about large lung spaces and small, but we do have to have those small lung spaces. Like Jayanagar has a park every block. Indira Nagar has a park. We don't have that in certain areas. In the outer lying areas,
So
we don't have
clearly the keenness for smaller areas, not just larger.
Yes,
both.
no, we need to have a balance of both. I'm not saying that the large lung spaces at the cost of smaller parks, but we need to have a balance of both.
Now, this new amendment to the Act, which was passed very quietly in the Assembly without much discussion, which says that in future layouts there will be a decreased amount for civic amenities and for open spaces. It doesn't apply to Bengaluru right now, but you're still concerned, as Nama Bengaluru, you're still concerned.
I think a classic example of how a government fails is the city of Bengaluru. The Bengaluru city has grown in a systematic fashion for the last 500 years. And in the last 30 years, we have systematically screwed it up. And that's the achievement of the government of the day, right? And what's very important, and I think I'd like to respectfully disagree with the Honorable Urban Development Secretary, the instance of Agra Belandur Lake, where a large builder had encroached 3.25 acres of a lake land, right? We had to fight for 3 years in 3 different courts to make sure that development had to be stopped. What were all these agencies doing? And Mahendra Jain sits on top of all these agencies, the Bangalore Development Authority, the BBMP, the BWSSB, and all these agencies, and are they sleeping, right? 3.25 acres of land of the largest lake, and that's just one instance.
There are many such lakes which have been encroached, and either they are in litigation or otherwise there is no action. And most of the lakes are encroached lakes. There are no free lakes without encroachment.
No free lakes. I think your study also said a huge number of lakes encroached.
See, our study clearly shows 98% of lakes have been encroached and 90% are sewage fed. You know, when I look at the situation, I wonder whether there is a law prevailing in our region. You know, Another thing we have done is that we have also looked at the tier 2 cities in Karnataka. I am not ready to lose the open spaces in any of these towns.
Yes, it's not just about it's yes.
Has to take a
Yes.
note of
So the urban secretary, you've been accused of being on top and maybe taking a nap when needed to stop these encroachments from happening.
No, I mean, I've only joined recently, but I can assure you, and I'm willing to work with all the stakeholders, the NGOs, everyone. Any specific instances are brought to our notice, we will definitely take action. I mean, there are litigations in some cases, there are stay orders in some others, so we have to work within the confines of the law. But we are very, very positive on this, and we are willing to work with all.
There's a promise there. We'll just go to one of the people who will be considered one of the villains of the piece. You've heard people talk about developers, about builders. It is often assumed that the building lobby is the one which is interested in reducing the open space, encroaching on the lake beds.
Destroying the
destroying the
Destroying
city
the city.
as a part of the development industry.
Well,
with
that is obviously the common perception of that the building industry, obviously by the very nature of its business, obviously has to clear the ground and build the housing thing. The housing also is obviously a very big need in India. But let me just talk about the fundamental responsibility of the political system. It's a constitutional responsibility of the politicians and the system to preserve and protect environment.
Not the responsibility of property developers.
Obviously, yes, it is. And there are, not that everybody has to be painted in the same brush. There are lots of builders, especially the evolved corporate system, who are now actually making an attempt to create integrated township. For example, the Ozone has a 100-acre integrated township development where 50% of the land is reserved for green.
Which is even more than is required by the law.
Yes, builders community, the credo, are also businessmen at the end of the day, and they have to realize that the goose, that's Bangalore, at one time it was 46 years ago was green and it's becoming red, that we are going to systematically kill. What is the attractiveness of Bangalore? It's the greenery, not the IT. It's the greenery.